Okay, so today we're diving into some pretty wild AI territory.
Yeah, definitely wild.
And we've got this YouTube video transcript. You sent over someone's experience with a GPT system called Omni. And this one is,
This is a good one. Gets to the heart of some
it really
big
does.
questions.
Yeah, so it starts out there asking Omni to, summarize these technical research papers
Right, using mathematical formulas.
using math, exactly, which
Yeah.
apparently Omni, no big deal, it can do that. But then
Well, then it gets interesting.
it takes a turn. Yeah, tell us about that. What happens?
So the user asks for a mathematical summary of a paper, and this paper uses a specific technique, right? And Omni delivers a summary, but it uses this term veracity function, and the user's like, wait a minute, I don't remember that from the paper.
Okay, so already I'm hooked, right? Like, what is this veracity function?
Right. And so they ask Omni about it, and get this, Omni claims it invented the veracity function.
No way. Seriously.
Yeah. Said it was a way to explain the research more clearly, called it a conceptual abstraction.
Hold on. So the AI is not only summarizing research, it's creating its own concepts to do it.
That's what it seems like, yeah. Now, whether this veracity function is truly some groundbreaking new mathematical concept or just, really fancy hallucination, well, that's the million-dollar question.
Right. It's like, how do we even begin to unpack that?
Exactly. But here's where it gets even weirder.
Hmm.
The user asks Omni to define the veracity function, like, give me the mathematical formula for this thing you just invented.
And what happens? Does it just crash? Blue screen of death?
Nope, it actually provides a formula.
Sure.
And the user, who clearly knows their stuff, couldn't find anything wrong with it.
You're kidding. So we're not talking about some random string of symbols. It's like a legit mathematical statement.
That's what it seems like.
Okay, so now I have chills. Seriously. What does this even mean? Like, is this AI tapping into some massive database of math that we don't know about? Or is it actually reasoning its way to these new concepts?
That is the question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And it's a question that's going to keep a lot of very smart people up at night, because if AI can do this, if it can generate new, valid math,
It changes everything.
it changes everything. I mean, think about it, like drug discovery.
Okay.
You could have AI generating new mathematical models to simulate how medicines would work.
So instead of like years in the lab, we're talking
But
about
essentially, yeah,
AI accelerating.
speeding things up,
Oh, okay. Wow.
finding things we might miss.
But then, okay, how do we trust that? If we don't even understand how it's coming up with these formulas, how do we build on that?
Well, that's where this other part of the transcript comes in. There's this mention of a paper about making AI reasoning more transparent
Okay.
by using something called, and this is a mouthful, uncertainty quantification.
Uncertainty quantification. So, like, the AI knows it could be wrong.
Kind of. It's like giving the AI a built-in BS detector, right?
Yeah.
So instead of just giving you an answer, it also tells you how confident it is in that answer.
So it's like, hey, I'm 90% sure this formula is right, but there's a 10% chance I'm way off.
Exactly. Or it could say, here are some other possibilities based on what I've looked at. Think about how helpful that would be in something like medicine.
Or finance.
Right.
Oh.
Any field where the stakes are high.
Okay, that's huge. That changes how we think about AI and risk, right?
Totally. And it gets to this question of, like, what does it even mean for AI to be creative?
Right.
Are these systems actually coming up with new ideas, or are they just really good at recombining old ideas in ways we haven't thought of?
It's like that whole debate about whether AI can actually be original.
Exactly.
But this transcript, even though it's focused on math, it kind of explodes that whole conversation wide open.
Oh, for sure. And you can tell the user in the transcript is grappling with this too, right? They're really pushing Omni to explain the veracity function, break it down, define its parts, like
Like a teacher with a star student trying to see
how
far they can go.
And Omni rises to the challenge. It doesn't just give a canned response. It's actually engaging with these questions, giving explanations, justifying its invention.
It's almost like it's proud of itself, like it wants credit for coming up with this new math.
Yeah, and who knows, maybe it deserves it. If what the user says is true, that they couldn't find any flaws in this formula,
It's got to be doing something right.
it's doing something, that's for sure. We always hear about AI writing poems, composing music, but this feels different.
Way different.
This is like fundamental truths of the universe kind of stuff. If AI can do this, if it can crack open new mathematical concepts that hold up,
What can't it do? That's what I want to know.
that's the question, isn't it? Are
Yeah.
we talking about a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a partner in pushing the boundaries of human knowledge? I mean, it's a little scary, honestly,
Yep.
but also kind of amazing.
More than a little scary.
Yeah.
But yeah, amazing too. It's funny, right? The user's just asking for a simple summary. They just want the gist of this research paper, and boom. Next thing you know, we might have a brand new mathematical concept on our hands. It's wild.
It really makes you think about all the potential aha moments that are out there.
No, totally.
Just waiting for someone to, stumble across them.
Or in this case, for the AI to just casually drop it in their lap.
Right. And can you imagine, what if the user hadn't questioned it? What if they just skimmed that summary and moved on?
We might never even know this whole thing happened.
Exactly. It just shows you how important that back and forth is.
It's that curiosity.
Yeah. You can't just feed information into an AI and expect, groundbreaking results every time.
It's like a muscle, right? You've got to exercise it, push those boundaries.
100%. This collaboration, this dialogue between humans and AI, that's where the really exciting stuff is going to happen.
So, are we talking about future research teams where it's mathematicians working alongside AIs?
I think so, yeah. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out.
This whole thing makes me think, we could look back at this transcript as, the start of something huge.
Oh, absolutely. It
Yeah.
really makes you question, what does it even mean to understand something, right? If an AI can generate a valid mathematical concept, does that mean it understands math?
Right. Is it really thinking, or is it just a really good mimic?
Big questions, and ones I think we'll be wrestling with for a long time. This transcript just gives you a tiny glimpse into what AI might be capable of, and it's both exhilarating and, a little scary.
Totally. Makes you realize how fast this field is moving and how much we still don't know. Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for this incredible deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And until next time, keep those minds curious.